This story should worry women everywhere, especially those that are abuse survivors. But first, I want to back up just a little bit. I'm Josh Gay with the Ring of Fire, and closing arguments have just wrapped up in a landmark trial for Meta. And yet Meta is already pushing the boundaries of privacy laws and privacy on another front, and it is appalling. So right now, as I record this, there is a jury deliberating in Los Angeles. 12 ordinary people. And they're being asked to decide something that Congress couldn't do, the Supreme Court couldn't do, 30 years of lobbyists made sure wouldn't happen. It's all whether or not one of the most powerful companies on earth can be legally liable for deliberately engineering their products to addict children. We have Meta and Google involved in this case, and they can't lobby this jury. They can't write a check to the right senator to get out of this. And they can't pay the equivalent of a parking ticket to get a waiver to keep addicting our kids. Right now, a jury of 12 Americans is going to decide this. And whatever they decide, nothing about this industry is going to be the same because of what we found out. And look, we've been through this before. Tobacco companies, they knew their product caused cancer and they designed it to be more addictive. Opioid manufacturers, they knew OxyContin was being abused. They kept selling it. The food industry, right now, they are engineering ultra-processed foods to override your body's satiety signals, and then they spent 40 years funding studies telling you that it's your fault for not having willpower. The pattern is the same every single time. Find something that people cannot stop using. Make it so that it is maximized for you to consume. Suppress all the evidence, fight every regulator until the cows come home. And finally, the only resort we have is in the courtroom. Meta, they're just the digital version of this. And unlike cigarettes, this product, social media, is in the hand of virtually every child in America all hours of the day and night. No age verifications, no Surgeon General's warnings, nothing. And it's built by the most sophisticated behavioral engineers that have ever lived. And this case, it centers around a one woman, a 20-year-old that's being called Kaylee. She started using YouTube at the age of 6. She created an Instagram account at age 9. And her lawsuit alleges that these platforms were designed to make you infinitely scroll, to keep recommending things that kept you watching. Autoplay, recommendations, variable reward notification systems. They got her addicted. And that addiction gave her body dysmorphia, depression, anxiety, and even thoughts of harming herself. TikTok and Snapchat, they looked at the evidence that the plaintiffs assembled and they settled this trial before it even went to the jury. Meta and Google, they didn't. They went through the trial. Mark Zuckerberg, he had to testify for the first time ever in February. And he argued that Instagram's age limits are, quote, very difficult to enforce, and that teen users aren't really that important to their bottom line. And the jury is now deciding whether or not they believe him. But more importantly, as a jury decides that case about how Facebook and Meta and Instagram and all of their products harmed children, Meta is already causing another potential issue. They are planning to add facial recognition to its Ray-Ban smart glasses, calling the feature name tag. All you do is you look at someone. The glasses identify their face. It pulls up their public Meta or Instagram profile. It tells you their name. And even the documents from Meta say that they've deliberately timed this launch for what their own inside experts say are a dynamic political environment. AKA, right now, privacy advocates, they're overwhelmed because they're fighting deportations, election integrity, and an illegal war. So Meta says this is the perfect time to launch. Their memo says, quote, "We will launch during a dynamic political environment where many civil society groups that we would expect to attack us would have their resources focused on other concerns." That is not a company that is worried about safety or privacy. They are doing research on the people who would hold them accountable, and choosing their launch window based on that. And we've already seen that Harvard researchers know what this technology can do. In 2024, 2 undergrads took these Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses, and they used a publicly available facial recognition tool, and they built a system that could identify a complete stranger and pull their name and address from public records in under 90 seconds. The ACLU, they said that this technology poses a uniquely dire threat to the practical anonymity that we all rely on. But more importantly, the more real harm here comes with domestic abuse. Domestic abuse charities Refuge and Women's Aid, they told The Independent that abusers are already wearing wearable devices to stalk and harass survivors. And that all they're doing when they add facial recognition to these glasses that look just like regular eyewear would be a direct and serious risk to anyone that is trying to get away from an abuser, a dangerous person. This charity reported a 62% rise in referrals to its tech-facilitated abuse team in 2025. 62% in a year. And Meta's answer? We're still thinking through our options. Which is what they say when they've already decided and they're just waiting for the right moment to put out the press release. Right now, a jury is deciding whether or not building a product that rewires a kid's brain for profit is legal. And while that's going on, that same damn company is being judged because they're planning their next product. A product that would let an abuser look at his ex-girlfriend's face through a pair of glasses and instantly pull up where she lives. There is absolutely no version of this story where the industry or Meta regulates themselves. There never was, there never will be. It will always be a jury or never.
They called it closed, filed away, forgotten. But some truths don't stay buried. Time doesn't erase guilt. A reckoning is always just around the corner. A death in Arcadia. Justice has a long memory.